Hello, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Ursic, Parliament Board Trustee and Chair of the Women's Task Force. Welcome to the 2018 Women's Assembly. Today we are at a critical moment for women's rights and human dignity. This year began with historic women's marches and campaigns such as Me Too. I am proud that the 2018 Parliament, sitting at the nexus of religion and society, is a significant voice in this expanding movement. Here is a simple fact. On a global scale, more women than men practice religion, and yet, more men than women occupy leadership roles in almost every major religion on the planet. We want to hear women's voices, see women's contributions, and support women's spiritual leadership. Here is another fact. The greatest excuse for not improving the lives of women and girls is cultural tradition, often justified by religion. This is doubly cruel when gender injustices get reframed as holy acts. But there is hope. Some women work to transform their religions from within, others work from the fringes, and still others step beyond to address this change. The Parliament is a large tent, and we have scheduled over 120 sessions across this spectrum. And I want to thank all of you who are sharing your gifts with us. The Parliament Women's Task Force has also initiated projects to contribute to this positive change. We have launched a Dignity of Women's Sacred Teachings project. Using Wikipedia, the largest multilingual free encyclopedia in the world, we have gathered scholars to write sections on the dignity of women. Millions of people are now reading what we have crafted and will continue to work on. We have also created a Dignity of Women Interfaith poster that summarizes these teachings in a visually compelling way. And for the first time in Parliament history, during this Parliament, we are offering a mentoring series to encourage women and men to give women a voice and seek leadership within their own faith traditions. I am personally co-hosting these sessions with female leaders who are excited to encourage women's leadership within their own faith traditions. In addition, we have launched a 1,000 Women in Religion project, also in Wikipedia. This enormous task, we have identified over 1,000 women whose contributions to their religious traditions have yet to be acknowledged there. Soon, people around the planet will be reading about female religious leaders in their own language, and women and girls will be inspired to dream and do the same. And thank you. You'll be hearing more about each of these throughout the Assembly. And for those who experience the sacred in feminine and female ways, we are launching a Sacred Feminine Stories project to draw attention to this undeniable spiritual current that is being experienced today across wisdom traditions. We also recognize that women's voices and women's wisdom is often expressed through the arts, and we have organized a curated art exhibit titled Spirit Soaring, and again have hosted a women's sacred space room. And just as some are speaking out, others are being silenced. Sexual violence is one of the most demeaning and personal ways that people are silenced, particularly women and children. Later in this assembly, we will debut an international declaration by religious and spiritual leaders to end sexual violence. This declaration not only names the horror of sexual violence, but also calls for the healing and freeing of voices, free to speak, free to flourish, free to live. This year began by drawing attention to injustices against women. So let us end this year as beacons of strength, hope, and light for a better future for all humanity. We hope this Parliament and this day dedicated to women's issues inspires you to return home and rededicate your efforts to improve the lives of women and girls worldwide. And to support you in this important work, we invite you to rejoin us today at 6 p.m. as we collectively and joyously commission you in this calling. This commissioning ceremony will end with a blessing by Interfaith grandmothers, all who have walked these roads and are calling us forward. I now invite the 2018 Parliament Women's Task Force, who have been working for the past 3 years to bring us this program today, to stand, or if you're on stage, to raise your hands and be recognized for your truly historic, astonishing work that you have brought to the world. And now for our first project. Would the next generation of female religious leaders please step forward and share the wisdom from your faith tradition as we debut our Dignity of Women Interfaith Wisdom poster.
The world of humanity has two wings. One is men and the other women. Not until both wings are equally developed can the bird fly. The Baha'i Faith.
A girl child may prove even a better offspring than a male, for she may grow up wise and virtuous. Buddhism.
Both men and women, I will pour out my spirit. Christianity.
No one is superior or inferior. All strive for the interest of all and progress collectively. Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma.
وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتُ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءِ بَعْضٍ. And the believers, men and women, are helpers, supporters, friends, protectors of one another. Islam.
A living body is not just limbs and flesh, but the abode of the soul,
which potentially has perfect perception, perfect knowledge, perfect power, and perfect bliss. Jainism.
God created humankind in the divine image, creating them male and female. Judaism.
There dwells in women something sacred and prophetic. Paganism.
Because of women, the future generations continue. A woman is born from a woman. There is none without a woman. Sikhism.
May a good ruler, a man or a woman, rule us in both existences. Zoroastrianism.